There are few cars in American history that have as much negative press as the Ford Pinto, a car that, for many, symbolizes the failings of the auto industry in the 1970s. Unveiled in 1970, the Pinto was a subcompact economy car built for affordability with little regard for performance or style. However, what many don't know is that one visionary Ford dealer saw something more in the Pinto. What he created was a car that not only outperformed some of the best sports cars of the era, but also became a rare gem in the automotive world, the Ford Pinto Pangra. So, how did a car known for its safety controversies transform into a performance legend? Let's dive into the details. Introduction to the Ford Pinto. The Ford Pinto debuted in 1970 as an answer to the rising demand for compact cars in America. With an incredibly low price tag of just $1,900, the Pinto was a car designed to be affordable, practical, and economical. However, it was far from being a head-turner. The Pinto was plain in appearance, underpowered with a meager 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine, and lacked the driving dynamics expected from more performance-oriented cars. Despite all of these shortcomings, one man saw potential in this unassuming subcompact, Jack Stratton. Stratton, the general sales manager at Huntington Ford in California, wasn't your typical car dealer. He was a performance enthusiast, a tinkerer, and a visionary who recognized that, despite the Pinto's humble beginnings, it could be transformed into something extraordinary. Jack Stratton's vision for the Pinto. During a time when American muscle cars were struggling due to rising insurance premiums and stricter emission standards, Stratton wasn't trying to revive the V8-powered muscle car. Instead, he saw an opportunity in Ford's new compact platform. While most saw the Pinto as nothing more than a commuter car, Stratton recognized that it had a lot going for it. It was lightweight, it had a small footprint, and with the right modifications, it could become a capable performance machine. The Pinto's 2,000-pound weight made it lighter than many other cars of its class, including the Chevy Vega. With a 94-inch wheelbase, it was also more compact than the Ford Maverick. This combination of lightweight and small size meant that the Pinto had the potential to be incredibly agile, especially when modified with the right performance parts. But Stratton knew that to turn the Pinto into a serious performance car, he would need to do more than just tinker under the hood. He would need to completely reimagine the Pinto's design to give it the aesthetics and the handling that would make it a true contender in the performance car world. Redesigning the Pinto's aesthetics. The Pinto in its stock form was hardly inspiring when it came to design. Its front end was bland and uninspiring, not something that would turn heads in the sports car world. To make the Pinto a legitimate competitor, Stratton enlisted the help of Bob Crow, a fiberglass specialist, to give the Pinto a radical redesign. Crow developed an entirely new front end for the car, ditching the stock look in favor of a sleek, aggressive design that was reminiscent of the iconic C3 Corvette. The new front fascia featured a shark nose design, slimmed-down fenders, and pop-up headlights that could be operated via a hand lever. The result was a car that no longer looked like a plain commuter vehicle, but one that had a bold, sporty presence on the road. While the front end received the most dramatic redesign, the rear end, doors, and quarter panels remained largely unchanged from the stock Pinto. However, the new fiberglass front end made a huge difference, transforming the car's appearance and giving it the visual appeal that Stratton knew was necessary to make it a serious performance car. Upgrading the suspension. Looks alone wouldn't be enough to make the Pinto a competitive performance car. To truly make the Pinto a capable machine on the road, Stratton needed to focus on improving its handling. The stock Pinto suspension was basic at best and wouldn't be able to handle the kind of performance Stratton had in mind. Stratton turned to Coney, a suspension company, to develop a handling package for the Pinto. The package included valved shocks, a 2-inch drop, 7-inch wide magnesium wheels, and revised suspension geometry. The result was a Pinto that could handle like a true sports car, with the ability to dart through corners with precision and poise. A period brochure from Huntington Ford claimed that the Pinto Pangra could pull 0.87 Gs on a skid pad before breaking traction. To put this into perspective, the Porsche 914 and Datsun 240Z, both considered to be excellent handling cars at the time, could only pull around 0.73 Gs. This meant that the Pinto Pangra was a far more capable handler than its competitors, and Stratton's vision for the car was starting to come to life. Adding performance power. With the Pinto's handling now sorted, Stratton turned his attention to the engine. The stock Pinto engine, a modest 2.0-liter inline-4, was never meant to be a performance powerhouse. In its factory form, it barely produced 90 horsepower, which was far from what Stratton needed to take on the best performance cars of the era. No. Stratton didn't want to stuff a V8 under the hood like some of the other muscle car projects at the time. Doing so would upset the balance of the car and compromise its handling. Instead, Stratton worked with legendary tuner A.K. Miller, a name synonymous with turbocharging innovation, to develop a forced induction solution. Together, they fitted a turbocharger from AR Tuner on the Pinto's 2.0-liter engine. This turbocharger was fed by a 2-barrel carburetor, boosting the engine's output to an impressive 175 horsepower, nearly double the stock engine's output. The turbo was tuned to run at 10 psi of boost, thanks in part to the Pinto's lowered 7-to-1 compression ratio, which made it more suitable for forced induction. To ensure the engine could handle the increased pressures, Stratton and Miller incorporated a water injection system that helped cool the intake air and keep the engine's temperature in check. This was a carefully engineered system designed not only for performance but for reliability, ensuring that the car remained durable and EPA compliant for years to come. Performance figures. The result of all these modifications was a Pinto that could achieve 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7.5 seconds. A remarkable achievement for a car of its size and price. The Pinto Pangra could also complete a quarter mile in the low 15-second range, making it faster than both the Datsun 240Z and the Porsche 914. Not bad for a car that was originally designed to be an affordable commuter vehicle. The Pinto Pangra was available for purchase through Huntington Ford from 1972 to 1973. The car was sold in two ways: as a fully built turnkey car or as a kit for those who wanted to assemble their own performance Pinto. The turnkey car, which included all the modifications mentioned above, was priced at around $5,000, while the individual kits were sold separately. There were 3 levels of kits available. The first was the fiberglass front fascia, which could be added to any stock Pinto for $600. The second kit was the full handling package, which included the suspension modifications and cost just under $1,100. The third kit, the powertrain kit, included the turbocharger, water injection system, and all the necessary components to increase the engine's performance. This kit was priced at $691. The kits allowed enthusiasts to modify their own Pintos, but Stratton's special dashboard and some other components were only available on the fully assembled cars, meaning that a true clone of the official dealer-built Pangra could never be created. Rarity and legacy. Despite the impressive performance capabilities and the attention to detail in the car's development, the Pinto Pangra was produced in very limited numbers. Estimates suggest that between 20 and 50 fully assembled cars were sold during its brief production run, with a significant number of kits sold to enthusiasts who wanted to build their own performance Pintos. Today, very few Pinto Pangras remain. Between the small number of cars produced and the limited availability of the kits, the Pinto Pangra has become a rare and sought-after collector's item. If you happen to see a Pinto at a car show that looks a little different, it might just be a Pangra, one of the most unlikely and capable sports cars of its time. The Ford Pinto Pangra is one of the most fascinating and forgotten performance cars of the 1970s. Created by Jack Stratton, this unassuming subcompact was transformed into a true performance machine that could outhandle and out-accelerate cars, like the Datsun 240Z and Porsche 914. While the Pinto itself has a controversial legacy due to safety concerns, the Pinto Pangra stands as a testament to what a little vision and ingenuity can achieve. Today, it remains one of the rarest and most capable performance cars of the era, and its story deserves to be remembered.